This video is sponsored by G2A. Use cashback code DORON for 3% off on Warcraft products. Hello guys, this is Doron's Movies, and today I will be discussing the light and whether it is evil or not. Talking about what it is, the history, and how good the light actually is for the universe. So without further ado, let's get into the lore. Before the universe existed, there was light. It was an infinite sea of living energy swelling across all of existence. Over time, pockets of shadow would form across the massive space, and the exact opposite force was created, known as the void. The tensions grew and grew, and eventually a cosmic explosion occurred, and the physical universe was created, known as the Great Dark Beyond. Shards of light flew across the cosmos and suffused the newly formed planets, sparking it with life and creating various life forms, the most common one being the elementals, native to almost every planet. The Titans were also created at this time that would play a key role in expanding the universe. Essentially, the void and the light are one, part of the same thing, but the exact opposite. Even though an entire universe was created, the light and the void exist as the prime and the two most fundamental forces behind everything. Pure light itself cannot exist within the physical realm, and the closest thing that we have to it are the Naaru, which are the physical manifestations and the purest expressions of the light. To put it simply, it is an energy that is ever present, and it is known as the source of all life in the cosmos. Essentially, every living being that was created has light inside him and can therefore harness its power. We've seen only recently all of the creatures of the light and its relevance, but the reality is that it has been present since the beginning, even before the actual beginning, and it worked quite a lot behind the scenes. It was the light that saved the Draenor and led them to their path. It also created the Army of the Light, which has fought the Burning Legion for countless millennia. We've seen its presence on Azeroth as well on many occasions, and a lot of races throughout history have been practitioners in one form or the other. However, until recently, we've seen the light as this pure benevolent force that can do no wrong, but the events that happened in the past few years make it obvious that it wasn't such a good, bright and perfect entity. This even led to some thinking that the light is actually evil, and some races seeing it as such. So, is the light actually evil? Well, first of all, with any questions like these, evil is a very black and white word and very subjective. What for some people is evil is good for others. The main point is that the light itself is just an energy and it is a tool, and the morality of it depends a lot on the ones that wield it. There isn't inherent morality in the light itself. For example, Arthas was a paladin that wielded the light and purged Stratholme, killing many of its citizens, while at the same time Uther also wielded the light and was against the purge. The Scarlet Crusade managed to continue wielding the light despite going insane and committing many horrible atrocities. On the other hand, Tyrion utilized the light to fight the Lich King. The Force was used to heal, resurrect, and make a myriad of positive changes within the entire universe. So, the point is that the light is a tool that generally is good, and it is a part of every living being. But it can also be used for many evil things if the wielder truly believes in it. That really is the key point, that the wielder is fully devoted. When thinking of the bad side of this force, we have seen the Prime Naaru Xe'ra essentially imprisoning Illidan and forcing him to take the light despite his own will being against it. Xe'ra explained to him that it was his destiny, and that ended up not being the case at all. Another great example are the Lightbound Draenor on alternate Draenor. After the war against the Legion, some 20-30 years later, Naaru arrived on Draenor and turned the living Draenor fanatical. They crowned Yrel as the High Exarch, and they began spreading the light forcibly. Ultimately, they would even kill all orcs that wouldn't convert to the light, and as far as we know, the Mag'har that teleported to Azeroth are the only survivors of this Inquisition. So it is very obvious that the light were not the good guys in this case, and for the orcish people that were native to the planet and that have lived there for thousands of years, it was most certainly evil. There wasn't that much of a difference with the Void or the Burning Legion taking over the world forcibly, so the only difference was that it converted them to a force that is more natural to them as opposed to the Void or the Fel. Now, with the development of the story in Battle for Azeroth, we will definitely see further progression with the Light and most likely the Void. We have seen that there are a lot of shades of grey and that the two forces are definitely not black and white, despite actually being black and white. The Void is not all bad, and it is just a force that exists and that has its own natural state. Ultimately, in my own opinion, the Light is just an energy and a tool, and while it is generally benevolent as it created all life in the universe and we are a part of that life, it has a lot of potential to do bad things. So it is definitely not all white, but it is also not all black, making the Light different shades of grey. Thank you for watching. Check out the lore you should know for WoW Classic by clicking on the screen, and also check out my second channel, Doran's Academy, for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.